Hi, crafty friends. Melissa Minor here. Thanks so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. Today, I'm creating a layout using the My Creative Scrapbook December main kit. Now, if you haven't seen my unboxing, I will leave a link to that video listed down below in the description box. Here is a little snippet from my unboxing, which just shows you the beautiful papers and things that are included in the kit. And this month, the focus is the Simple Stories All Wrapped Up collection, which I just love. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm trying out some new paper. This is some paper I picked up from my local craft store, and it is 11 by 14. So I'm going to end up cutting this down to 11 by 11. And then I'm going to go in and edge distress it. Now I am using this sketch. This sketch came included in the My Creative Scrapbook kit. And then I've got these two photos that I printed of my daughter. I print all my photos at home on the Epson PictureMate 400. So I printed these to 3 by 4 and then I matted them on some white cardstock. And then I used an edge distressing tool to distress the edges. So in this sketch, it has a pattern paper kind of slanted across the bottom, and I just love that. I am going to be adding some mixed media, so I'm taking a pencil and just lining out where my papers and my photos are going to go. Here's my green swatches from Shimmer's Paints. And so I was flipping through the swatch colors to find the perfect paint. So I landed on this one, and this was called Plant One On Me. And this is a Twinklings, and a Twinklings has lots of sparkle and shine. Now I do want to mention I am on the Shimmer's Paints design team. So if you ever place an order on the Shimmer's Paints website, you can add my name, Melissa Minor, to the notes section, and Shimmers will send you a free paint. So I'm trying out this paper. My actual thoughts on it is I think it's a little too thin for scrapbooking. If you're going to be matting it, it'll be fine. But if you're just trying to scrapbook on it alone, I don't think it is very sturdy. So it was okay, but I'm not a huge fan. I would rather use my mixed media cardstock or even my regular white cardstock that I purchase on Amazon in bulk with some white gesso. So just a little tip for you there if you're looking to get some paper. So here is that Plant One On Me Twinklings all dried, and then I am going to go ahead and glue my pattern paper on here. This is my favorite paper that was in the kit. I love this with the red and the music notes, and you'll notice in the background of my photos, once I pull them out, there's some red bows, and I think it just really goes good with these photos. So I'm going to snip off the edges. Now, since I did distress the edges of that white cardstock, or it's more like paper, it's not cardstock, before I started, I am going to have to go back in and use my edge distressing tool to distress the edges now with them glued together. So I'm edge distressing the white with that red paper so that it has a more cohesive look. Otherwise, it just didn't look right, just kind of snipped off the edges. So I'll get this all distressed. Now the edge distressing tool I'm using is one I picked up off Amazon. There's lots of edge distressing tools out there, but I love this one. Any products that I use today that are in addition to the My Creative Scrapbook kits, I will leave linked down below in the description box in case you are interested. I will also leave a link to the My Creative Scrapbook website, where if you're not already a kit subscriber, you can sign up to receive your monthly kits. This is the main kit. They also have a limited edition kit, an album kit, and a creative kit. And I love their kits so much. They're always so on trend, and the latest and greatest paper and brands are curated into their kits. So I love that. All right, I did gut the center of this pattern paper, and I like this paper because it has the red, the white, the green. I just thought it was perfect for the colors that I'm using for today's layout. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on here just to give it a really nice border. And now I can continue on. Now, since this paper was not very sturdy, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of Scotch tape to the back. I want to make sure this all stays together and doesn't come apart. So just adding a few pieces of Scotch tape here to hold it together. And that'll give it a little extra stability so that it'll go into my album nicely. All right, so I have that part done. Now I'm going to bring back in my photos and kind of arrange them. So her head is looking to the left in one of the photos, and then she kind of is looking right on straight. So the photo that she has her head turned, I want to make sure that she's looking into the layout. I don't like my photos to look off the layout. It kind of looks funny. So I want her to look in. So I know that the one with her hair showing, which is so gorgeous in this photo, I'm going to have that on the right side. I did mat the photos on some pattern paper that was included in the kit. So I've got one that's like that craft color, and then one that has like some green and some leaves. So I like the way that looks. Now that I'm putting my photos onto the layout, I'm noticing that some of my mixed media is covered. And in fact, I don't think I have enough mixed media, but I will worry about that in a moment. I'm bringing in a few of the tags that were included in the kit. And I did go ahead and distress the edges. Now this is a little piece of paper that I cut, and I just went ahead and used my corner rounder and rounded the corners. And so I added that, and then I also added a sticker from the sticker sheet for that little tab. My title here is going to be Mary, and I love how it has all the different colors and patterns. I just think that looks so cute. So that is from the chipboard stickers, so I'll add that to the layout. And now I want to find a few more embellishments. I was kind of thinking, oh my goodness, I grabbed this. It says, oh, what fun. And it was such a fun day. I think I definitely have to add that. So that's going to be part of my title. Oh, what fun. And Mary, just being Mary. So super cute. I'm going to add a little foam to the back at the top of this oh, what fun, just so it pops up a little bit in the back. So I like that. I'm going to look through here and see what else I can find. I was thinking maybe this tree, but then I thought that that was kind of bulky. And now I'm thinking, what about presents? I want to see if I can find, I think I remember there being like presents in here. So off camera, I looked through the embellishments and I did find some presents. So I want to add some presents in here to where the pattern paper meets the cardstock. I'll add a little bit of foam on these as well to give them some extra dimension. And then I've got two presents over there on the right-hand side. So I'll add just a little bit of foam to the back of all of these, and then we'll get this stuck back down. So I really like the presents on there. I think that's exactly what it needed in that space. So I'll kind of overlap the title just a little bit. We'll get the presents like tucked under the red paper. And now I need to start looking for something else, and I'm thinking I want to bring in some more tags. So in the sketch, it only had the one tag behind that upper left photo, but I think it looks a little bit naked. So I'm going to bring in some more tags. I want to put 2 tags behind each of the photos. And then of course I will bring in some twine to give this layout some extra texture. But I'm looking through the different tags to see which ones I want to use, and I'm also cutting them down so that they will fit. Now this one, I didn't like the way that looked. It was just like white on white. So I will keep looking, and oh my goodness, I love this one, how it has like all of my colors. So I am going to layer this one, and I actually am going to keep this one full size. I like the way that looks, kind of going all the way down to the present on the side of the photo. So off camera, I did distress the edges of all those tags. So there we go. I was thinking maybe about a candy cane, and it probably could have worked, but I didn't want to get too carried away. I was thinking maybe the candy cane up here. No. Over here. I do like it now that I'm watching the video back for my voiceover, but at the time I didn't think it was the right element. But I did find these leaves here that I had placed at the bottom of the page, and they've been on there almost the whole video because I knew I wanted to use these leaves. And so I'm going to add these over here in this upper left-hand corner. Still trying to play with those candy canes, and they're not going to make it onto this layout. Hopefully they'll make it onto another layout this month. I thought about maybe some more leaves down here, but then I decided against that. It's just getting too busy. I think I better quit while I'm ahead, and I like the way this is already embellished the way it is. So now it's time to bring in some twine. Before I do that, in the sketch, there was like a little stitching line or something across here. And I like the way that looked, but instead of the stitching, I'm just gonna add this little sticker of all the different Christmas lights. So that looks really cute. Now, since I had added some layers and some things, I didn't find that my paint was peeking through. There wasn't enough mixed media. So I am gonna very carefully bring back in that Plant One On Me twinklings and just add a little bit more color behind some of these elements so that you can see the mixed media from behind the tags and behind all the embellishments. So, and the presents here, so we'll just add a little bit more paint. I have to be very careful. I ruined a layout before trying to paint after the fact, but I do think it is a necessary step for this. I'm going to also add a few splatters just to bring that out since I covered most of those up. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way that looks now. All right, so now that I am done with the Plant One On Me color, I'm actually gonna bring in another paint color as well. And this is called Good as Gold. It's a twinklings, and this gold is so shiny. It is like the brightest gold. It is perfect for your Christmas layouts, perfect for making gold splatters. Again, this color is called Good as Gold. Now with these that come in the paint pans, you just add a little bit of water to activate them, and then they are perfect. So I'm adding quite a bit of this Good as Gold splatter. I mean, what's a Christmas layout with without a bunch of gold on it? So I'm adding lots and lots of gold. You'll see I did add some scrap cardstock there over top of my photos because I didn't want to get any paint on them. So that's just some scrap there. So I'm finished now putting on my gold. And now I was looking at the layout thinking it just needed something. So when I was looking for the ribbons, which you'll notice I added red and green ribbons up to the top of all my tags, I found this white ribbon. What do you call this? It has like the pom-pom trim. And I picked this up at my local craft store. Those ribbons up there, there's something at Michael's called Ribbons and Trims. And that's not at all the Michael's, but you can find it online. And they have like a bunch of different pre-cut pieces of like mixed ribbons that are perfect for topping all of your tags and things with. So I went ahead and added that. This was a whole roll of this pom-pom trim that I had picked up as well. So I think that's the perfect finishing touch that it needed. So if you've enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. And don't forget to check out the My Creative Scrapbook website so that you can sign up for your kits. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.